Hello everyone, time for some more fun tier list stuff. Nothing too informative here. I am going to be ranking all of the 5CP rollouts. There are a couple I'm ignoring here. I actually have and have had a video where I do talk in depth about all the rollouts, for demo of course, how to do them, variations of them, etc. I'm just going to go through the rollouts that I do and rank them. I will link that video as well if you're interested. But anyway, we're starting out here on process and some potential performance anxiety here as I try not to fail it. The process rollout, I think it's quite nice. I think that it's very straightforward. It's pretty fluid. You show up a little weak, which is unfortunate. But other than that, I am a fan. And there's many different pain points, like how you get out of spawn, properly hitting this ramp slide, and then properly getting the correct launch angle to hit the other ramp slide. So there's definitely some skill to it, but it's usually not too bad. I think the process rollout might be like an A tier rollout. Now I will, real quick, try to do the Cadus rollout, which we'll see if we can. Yeah, so something like that. And that obviously does get you right to the pack, but being out here every single mid, like at the start of the mid, does make you very vulnerable to fast rollouts and soldier bombs early on. But it's fun to do, and importantly, it's kind of a flex as well, because, you know, demos don't really do it because of some of the aforementioned problems, but also it's just difficult and a lot of demos can't do it. So you're kind of flexing by doing so, and you can like actually properly challenge their demo early, which you can't really do with other rollouts. Like from way further back, it's very difficult to actually properly contest the other demo. It's very hard to get early damage on process before the other team actually shows up. So as far as ranking, I might put the Cadus rollout as another A tier just because it's cool. But yeah, definitely not one you're going to want to be going for too often. And those are the rollouts for process. So let's look at my... Oh, next up is Gully Wash. We will do Gully Wash F9. So one of my comments mentioned that change level might be faster than just doing map and then the map name. Hopefully that's true. I appreciate them suggesting it nonetheless. So, Gully Wash rollout is quite simple, but there are definitely ways to optimize it, I think. As far as you obviously want to minimize fall damage, and there are ways to go faster. Is that gonna work? Oh. Gotta do the rollout commands. So, okay, man. Give me my buff and let me... What is going on? Okay, something's obviously broken here. We're just gonna do it with bad health, I guess. So, this is doing it poorly. You ideally want to land in front of the shutter. You ideally want to land a little bit further. Let's try this. See if that works out better. That sure does. So you can kind of see where some of the optimizations might come from, because I'm doing this quite poorly right now. You want to, A, have your stickies out as soon as possible, because that means you can jump off of them sooner, and B, just land where you're trying to jump next. So this is definitely a much better one. And you do want to avoid generally taking fall damage on this jump from shutter. But showing up early to Gully Wash is a big deal. If you are able to get out very uncontested early on, then you can just like wipe teams in that area. Very often scouts will challenge you and whatever. I already have videos talking about mid fights. I've talked about how to play the Gully mid on demo multiple times. But I think that might be on the second channel if you're interested. The kind of map review and how to play every rollout or mid, whatever. As far as ranking this, It's a decent rollout. It's very easy to mess up, but I wouldn't consider it difficult. And it is quite important to show up at, not necessarily as early as possible, but at a consistent time every single time, because you get a lot of very early damage on gully mid. So being able to roll out consistently and get that consistent damage, know where to shoot when for that automatic early mid-fight damage, it's really important. So on top of the fact that you want to show up at least somewhat early so that you can have the jump on this scout trying to challenge you, and you can potentially just have your second sticky hitting them. On top of the fact that you want to show up early enough that you can at least hear a fast rollout trying to land and contest you and choke and be prepared for it. So there's a lot of reasons why showing up consistent on gully is really important. But I don't think importance is necessarily going to rank it higher. I think I can give it just a B tier for being just okay. Maybe C tier for that reason, actually. It's just kind of okay. Some demos do hit their head on that, but usually that's not too big of a problem. Actually, the band on here is usually where I shoot my stick, but whatever. This is not the only rollout for gully. The other one is even more simple. This is the big door rollout, and it's literally just land over here, and I just walk. I suppose you could use another sticky, but I just walk, and then first sticky is going up to challenge their demo. That wouldn't really properly do so, although I suppose if their demo was standing here, that would. Whatever. This rollout, very simple. You can't mess it up. It's just one sticky and then walking. I'm going to give it a D tier for being uninteresting. And, yeah. That's it for gully. Let's move on now to Metalworks. Metalworks is going to be a bit divisive, I think. And that, let's go F5. That's for a couple of reasons. So, for starters, there isn't too much making the rollout interesting. It is very Gully Wash-esque in the sense that you are just jumping from sticky to sticky. No big strafes or ramp slides or anything like that. And it's also extremely high stakes, where you do not want to mess it up. Because if you mess it up, then on something like a Metalworks mid, just show real quick, a demo that rolls out choke is typically going to show up just a touch faster than a demo who rolls out main. So if you roll out main, then their demo could just be locking you out. And you either knock the sticks away or rotate backdoor or something. It's just a sour start to your mid. And a lot of demos will roll out top left with the intention of rotating right just because they don't want to get locked out main. And demos tend to show up a little bit unhealthy as well. So being able to like hit 2 stickies or something on the other demo before the mid even starts, they could just die to like chip damage. And that could just end the mid right then and there. So extremely high stakes. Oh, right. I think I need to do... No, we're good. This would be too far to jump. My medic beam wouldn't be able to reach me. Taking fall damage here is bad. And I'm actually going to use that extra sticky just to try and prevent myself from getting locked out. Yeah, that was okay. Obviously, you can see I get extremely weak there because I use that extra sticky, which not every demo will do. But it is a little bit faster if you're worried about getting locked out. And you just want to have those sticks down as soon as possible. Here with 80 HP, I feel quite comfortable doing that. And yeah, again, not very healthy, 125. But that's the Metalworks rollout. I am not a huge fan of the Metalworks rollout. Because again, it's not very interesting. And if you mess it up, then your mid is just starts off on such a worse foot. Which you can argue is like worthwhile. Or at least like you should reward players for having good rollouts. Which I agree with, but I don't know. Not a big fan of the Metalworks rollout. I might give it a low C, maybe a high D tier. And yeah, that's really the only rollout for Metalworks. As far as what door you pick is really up to you, but it's not really a big rollout distinction because you're just kind of walking between the two. Okay, next up we have CP Snakewater. Snakewater has quite a variety of rollouts. whether you want to roll out saw or lower, there are some options. Obviously, they all aim to do the same thing. You're going to play the same style of mid regardless of what rollout you do. Unlike the case of, for example, a gully wash, where your rollout dictates what style of mid you have to play or are going to want to play. And the one that I do is a little quirky. And I kind of like it because it's quirky. I tend to like... I guess I have to do this whole thing again. Okay. So, I actually do a crouch det through cheese to roll out saw. I aim to hit that ramp slide, which I didn't hear. Oh, and this is really bad, actually. Absolutely poor showing for me as far as the rollout is concerned. I really hope that siren in the... That is so insanely loud. Yeah, that's 100% getting picked up. I'm sorry about that. Whatever. So, snake water rollout. Should, like, close my window. This is a little better. And you can actually use an extra sticky here. I uncrouch it just to reach the pack easier. And that extra sticky sometimes like has you show up a lot sooner than the other demo. So there's definitely some quirks to this rollout. I am a fan of it as a result. It's just a little weird. Not something a lot of people do. I think it might be technically faster than doing this, which other people do. But it's not going to be by that much. But I like it. It's fast. It's unique. And it sets you off for a good start at mid. For that reason, it might be an A tier or even potentially an S tier rollout for me. And then there's also the ramp slide there to consider. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. I think I might actually consider this an S tier rollout, which I wouldn't have expected going into this video. It doesn't stick out to me as like a really unique rollout, but no, it's nice. And then you can roll out lower, but again, that doesn't... I never do it because it doesn't change the style of mid you're playing. I just prefer doing this. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and consider Snakewater an S tier. And what is next in the order? Next we have Sunshine. Okay. Let us investigate then. So Sunshine does have 2 rollouts you can do. And it's important to know both of them because they do kind of change how you play the mid. You can play... Obviously, you want to pick a side in Sunshine, whether you want to play left or right. Obviously, you can play either side if you roll out Choke. But rolling out Valley, you're more so trying to play left-sided. It's just a long way to get to the right side. But we'll just demonstrate it real quick with we'll do a choke rollout first. Oh my god, I just completely missed that ramp slide. And this sticky can be quite tough because you kind of need it hanging off the edge to properly hit the ramp slide. And you're here. So as far as the choke rollout goes, I would consider this maybe the hardest rollout for beginners. To do consistently, because, and I usually like when my soldier's holding that door so I can jump off of this side. This sticky's really hard to hit, because again, you want it, well, the sticky's hard to hit, which makes this ramp slide hard to hit, because you want it to be kind of hanging off a bit, so that you can jump from the other side and get a lot of speed coming into this ramp. You can crouch det this, and I do see demos crouched at this, but there is a health consideration there, and Sunshine choke rollout, you are extremely vulnerable and extremely unhealthy when you show up because there's just no pack for you to get. So let me do this one more time and see exactly how healthy I am when I show up. Okay. Oh, and you can see I missed it there. So I won't hit the ramp slide. And I show up like 120, which is not great. Not great considering that this is a mid that's very easy to get fast rolled out on. So yeah, it's a little difficult. I don't like rolling out choke necessarily, but sometimes I feel that I have to because I like playing right side, and it makes you very vulnerable. The rollout itself, though, I think is fine. I think it might be like a C tier, if not a low B tier. But as far as its place and how Sunshine is played, it's a little unfortunate that it is how it is. And let's see if we can't just get an actual clean one to close things off. And sometimes that stick can miss as well, which can be a little tough. But it's rewarding to hit and easy to miss. Pretty difficult rollout overall. I might consider it a B tier just because it's satisfying to hit. As you can maybe guess, my criteria for these rollouts is not very precise. Okay, now let's do the Valley rollout, which is a lot easier, a lot safer, and yeah. A lot of demos will just jump this stick here. I do like to crouch det, but sometimes it does mess up, and you can just land really short. I'm trying to mess up here. Yeah, something like this is quite possible. It's possible to land like really short and have to walk a long way. But if you can land close to the pack, it is a bit faster than going over. Not super important. And yeah, you're here. This rollout is safer than choke. It is easier than the choke rollout. And a lot of demos and sometimes even teams prefer to roll out through Valley. So it definitely has its place. It's not very interesting or fun to do. For that reason, I think I might consider it a... I'll consider it also a... is it a C tier or a B tier? I'll consider it... I'll put it as a B tier, but a lower B tier than the choke rollout. I do like doing the choke rollout more. And that's it for Sunshine. What else do we have? Next we have Sultry. Sultry is an interesting case. So, what is unique about Sultry? The rollout is kind of a mix of... It's like Gully Wash and Sunshine-esque. Kind of mixed together. So, let's hop in here and talk about it. What I do like about Sultry is that you do get rewarded for nice little strafes, being able to land a bit deeper. And this can materialize in being able to... What's this thing again? Okay. Okay, yeah. We have to do this again, I guess. So, first things first, this first sticky is kind of weird because it's very easy to miss it, like I did there, depending on where you land. In some cases, you need to go on the other wall, which I suppose makes your first static jump more important. But anyway. Oh, man. Let's just do it against the wall, since my static jumps are not great from this spawn, apparently. Oh, this works. So, like a strafe like this, it's pretty minor, but ooh, also that jump's important. Basically, it very much depends on your ability to strafe around these corners and just get a little bit more space to make you a little bit faster, while mixed with some of that like Metalworks-esque and Gully Wash-esque. The sooner you place your sticky, the better. You can strafe quite deep here and land quite close to the pack. And I've noticed that just hitting better strafes and shooting those stickies sooner, like you can show up considerably faster than other demos. And for that reason, I'm a bit of a fan of the Sultry rollout. It's simple, it's easy to understand, but there's some devils in the details there that can make you show up a lot faster. And in some cases, if you are much faster than the other demo, then you get to hit them with a sticky as they're getting through. Not really that sticky, though. That sticky, well, that'd probably hit me. I wouldn't be hugging way far back, assuming I'm slow. So yeah, Sultry rollout, the more I think about it, the more I like it, actually, because it is just simple. It's easy to understand, but there's a lot of things to consider. Yeah, and you can see I'm just absolutely pitiful at it right now. I don't think I get that pack. I'm pretty sure I don't. Yeah, there's no way you're, like, healthy enough here that... That was a terrible stick. I wonder if a crouch dead there is worth. Just to go, like, really far. Oh, man. That might be... Hold on, am I cooking? Let's see if I'm cooking. I never crouched dead there. But it, like, is maybe making a case for being worth it. because you want to land quite close to this shutter. You're definitely showing up less healthy. But yeah, maybe I incorporate some crouch dice there. I don't know. I think I might be ready to consider Sultry an S tier rollout. It's quite neat. Now you can roll out Choke as well and try and play like a right-sided mid. I actually prefer rolling out Cheese nonetheless and then just rotating towards Choke. Just because not only does it kind of disguise what type of mid your team's trying to play, but also like the initial sprint from Cheese is totally fine. And you have enough time to actually get to the right-sided by the time your team shows up and wants to commit. So yeah, kind of marks all the boxes there. This is really the only rollout I do on Sultry. So yeah, what's next? Next, we do have... Do I even do Granary? I don't like the Granary rollout. I'm just going to consider it like D tier. I can do it. It's very Badlands-esque. And, you know, I'll bump it up to C, considering that, like, I think uncrouch stickies might be a worthwhile endeavor there. Let us, just for... I don't think we're ever going to play this map again. But, just in the case that we do Badlands, and just in the case that I get to hit it first try, because this is a notoriously difficult rollout. I think this is probably a much harder rollout than the Sunshine Choke rollout. Because you just have to hit a very specific angle on your sticky to get the proper ramp slide. This isn't a map I really played that much. Just some pugs here and there when I was first starting out. By the time I was playing seriously, this map was kind of phased out. But we will try it nonetheless. Okay, this nonsense again. So, I didn't even crouch that. I didn't even go anywhere. Whatever. So this jump is easy to mess up. You can hit your head. And you can hit your head there, as I just did. And then here, jump out, and then you're there in a house. We'll try that one more time, now that I've had the flavor for it. I think a closer sticky here is a little better, and yeah, hit your head there. So obviously a very difficult rollout to hit well, but I've ranked difficult rollouts highly because they're rewarding to hit. In the case of Sunshine, I didn't even crouch that, but that kind of worked out, I guess. I'm actually quite a fan of the Badlands rollout because there's a lot going on. So obviously you need to do kind of a low flying sticky there, but you don't want something like that happening. And then this, of course, is just such a particular jump that it's easy to mess up, and it's rewarding to hit it properly. And here we go. I didn't get the small pack, but whatever. And then this jump is unique. Like, there's no other rollout that incorporates something like that, where you don't even jump at all. You just walk out, crouch, and then jump off your stick. And yeah, I like it a lot, actually. There's a pack waiting for you as well. This might be an S tier rollout, all things considered. Again, probably the hardest rollout to hit consistently. I'm sure it's not too bad if you have some Badlands practice, if it's actually in the map pool. But there's a lot going on here, and I'm definitely a fan. I think it might be an S tier rollout, even though, yeah, not really a map that gets played anymore. Okay, next we have Reckoner. Reckoner, I think I like. There's a couple things to consider. The first sticky on Reckoner, I don't think I've figured out yet. Because you actually have to jump deceptively far to start out. And yeah, it's very easy to fall short. And there's also kind of a bait ramp, I think. Because once we get in here, I'll demonstrate. So this ramp here it seems like a massive bait to me, because it seems intuitive to want to hit the ramp slide on it to land deeper. But because this area is so open, a lot of the time you're just better off jumping directly to the door. And I'm curious, actually, I've like tried it before. I do think a C-tap is like maybe worth doing here, because just a regular jump... Actually, that took me like plenty far. I did take fall damage, I suppose. But only one sticky hit me there. That was the intention. Yeah, it's kind of hard to go deep enough. I suppose you could crouch death this. Maybe worthwhile to crouch death. But as you can see, yeah, I haven't really figured out Reckoner. This first sticky is just weird to get optimal. But that wasn't too bad. So just like one sticky. Probably don't have to C-tap it, although that is funny. Yeah, maybe I start C-tapping. Obviously, you're going to take more damage. But anyway, let's just do the rollout. There are a couple of rollouts on Reckoner, depending on the type of mid you want to play. But I do like the crouch debt here, and I try and hit a ramp slide there to land deeper in cargo. Let's see if I can actually reproduce that. And I like doing this rollout. It's pretty fast, and I don't know, it's just a nice little strafe. It feels jump map-esque. I'm surprised I didn't hit the ramp slide there, actually. I don't know if that was a ramp bug or if I'm just probably not fast enough, all things considered. But yeah, Reckoner, I like the rollout. That didn't send me very far, as you can see, and I'm actually curious now if it's worth... this is such a small doorway. You could maybe just land deep. Deeper in saw, but not saw. Cargo. But I don't know. I like hitting the ramp slide. And there are some cases where you can hit it quite fast and land a little bit deeper than you would be able to just with a nice strafe. But yeah, that's the cargo rollout. As far as a ranking goes, I think I can consider this an A tier rollout just because that maneuver to like this guy here is quite fun. It's nice to hit a little ramp slide, even though it might be unnecessary. I don't know. I just like it. A-tier rollout. Now, the other rollout that I do, at least, I've seen some European demos roll out Toxic, like through here, which I outline, like all these weird, like accessory rollouts, any rollout that is feasible at all, I do outline in my, every demo rollout video. So check that out if you're interested. But the other one that I do is for an aggressive right side mid, just rolling out to underpass, and it's quite simple. You just try to avoid anything that can block you there, whether that be like this guy or this rim here. And it doesn't matter about cratering, because of course, as you can see, this health pack topped me off, so I'm full HP. Yeah, this rollout, very straightforward. I think it's like a B tier, because it's fun enough, but just not that interesting or difficult. Yeah. A little bland, but overall still enjoyable nonetheless. And yeah, I think that's it for Reckoner. And we'll probably... I have Manbase and Logjam in my rollout video, but I think we're gonna skip those here because I haven't played those maps in quite a long time. Actually, you know what? I will include them anyway, because I really like Logjam. So let's go next into Villa, which is our next map. Let's see if I even remember the rollout. I do like the Villa rollout, all things considered. I know you can roll out books, which might just be worth doing over Choke, because Choke just seems so vulnerable of a rollout to me. But we can check it out nonetheless. And actually, Choke is like the one rollout I definitively remember. So let's see if we can't just do it off the dome right now. This is not a great spawn. Okay, we'll just jump off this wall since I don't want to miss my stick. I do know you can use... The extra sticky there is actually a little awkward because I didn't have enough time to fire. Yeah, I'm a little hazy on this one. Believe it or not, we don't play a lot of Villa. So, if I do something like that, this could be crouched at, I suppose. Obviously, as you can see, you're aiming for that ramp slide. Let's stop being fancy with some extra sticky. Let us just walk to the shutter. Although this... Okay, that worked. And you can hit a nice ramp slide there. That's a very slippery ramp. Get your pack and you're good. I am a fan of the Villa rollout. To choke. There's obviously a lot going on. Like that extra sticky, uncrouched does speed things up. Does consume a little extra health, but does speed things up. And this is just such a satisfying ramp to hit. And strafing it all the way through choke is really nice. Yeah, I'm just a big fan. This might even be an S tier. I was definitely thinking A tier, but I don't know, it might be an S tier. Because it's just very fun to hit. Yeah, I think I'm okay calling this an S tier rollout. As far as the rollout to books goes, I'm honestly not sure where even teams roll out if they roll out right side. Right side feels very awkward to get to books. Compared to just coming through left and potentially walking up here or something. I don't know what's actually faster. And as a result, I don't really know the books rollout, but let's try going left side, I suppose. I'm sure I go over it in that video about rolling out. I bet just a sticky here could land you in here, and that's probably fast enough. Showing up at a similar time to choke. Not terrible, but yeah. If that's the rollout, that's pretty uninteractive, pretty uninteresting. And maybe a C tier, a low C tier. But yeah, that's Villa. Let's go on now to man base, and good lord, I hardly remember a single thing about man base. But we'll hop into RC2A and investigate. So I do remember there's a couple precise stickies you can do to optimize it a little bit further. And maybe even like a little ramp slide at the end, like a tiny little ramp slide. I don't recall exactly. We're going to check it out once we hop into the map. This is my first time playing on Manbase in quite a while. Cool looking map. It's interesting. And I actually imagine this might be some of your first times seeing Manbase at all. But anyway, let us try to do this rollout. I do remember this sticky being quite precise. And you could get this pack. Is this pack new? I think that pack might be new. You could land choke. You might be able to ramp slide that to avoid fall damage. Let's see if we can't refine it a little bit. I'm super hazy on this guy. I'm going to try to hit the ramp slide. See if that helps. That actually kind of does. And then, yeah, crouch that you can go over. I just remember grabbing that pack a lot. And you could theoretically ramp slide that. Yeah, that's pretty coherent. The fact that this pack, this feels new to me. It feels very redundant with that pack over there, but I guess just having a larger pack is fine. And you can get this one and be pretty much full HP. But I do actually quite like how if you just try to jump as far as possible off this sticky, you actually land a little bit shallower than just a nice ramp slide there. And doing a crouch net to avoid hitting the ceiling and actually strafe, like, what's the word, narrower into this corner, while also like potentially running the risk of landing here and being slow, is just faster than going all the way around. Yeah, there's a lot. Oh, I'm no-clipped. Yeah, there's a lot I like about this man-base rollout, now that I look at it. Failed the ramp slide there. So this is just completely scuffed. But, and I wonder, like, hitting a nice ramp slide there might take you further than you would be able to just jump over. So there's definitely some nuance. There's definitely, like, reward for hitting it better, I guess. And overall, I think I'm a big fan. I want to just be, like, looking around and whatever. I'm making a space-themed jump map, so I like the inspiration. But anyway, Manbase, I might consider... Am I even going to give it an S tier? I don't know. So, I feel like I'm giving these lesser scene maps higher ratings just because there's some novelty factor, rather than having done them, you know, hundreds of times. But there's just a lot going on here, and I like it. It doesn't like force you to do interesting things necessarily, but the interesting things tend to be faster, so you end up getting encouraged to do those interesting things. And yeah, that ramp slide definitely sent me further. Yeah, I'm comfortable giving this an S tier. That's man base. Now let's go to change level CP logjam. RC12F. Can't believe this thing's in release candidate 12 by now. Okay, so logjam I like a lot, just off the bat, because it actually you can single pre it and do some actual like demo jump tech. Basically every other rollout is just one sticky at a time. And this one is, well, let's just see if I can do it first. I remember you want kind of a high sticky there because, oh, that was actually a little too high. So something like that, you can hit a really nice ramp slide and land deep really quickly. And that's actually probably less health than just a double sticky. And I'm actually curious if a double sticky is... double sticky's worse, because it's harder to land the ramp slide. You could theoretically do it with a double sticky, but I do think that the single pre might be the optimal rollout here, which is awesome. The rest of the rollout is not that interesting. I hit that very poorly. It's not that interesting, to be honest. But being able to actually use a single pre and have it not just be like, oh yeah, I do like tier 3 demo jump type of flex, but instead, man, I'm like way overshooting that. But actually be it, or have it be potentially an optimal play to roll out faster is really cool. Kind of overshot it there, so I won't hit the ramp slide. But you saw it with the first one. Yeah, I like this rollout a lot. I think, curiously enough, even though I talk about how much I like it and this really unique aspect that it has, which is awesome, I don't know if I'll give it an S tier. Because the rest of the rollout is kind of uninteresting. It does have a really nice ramp slide at the end, but I don't know. Again, I don't really have strong criteria for these rankings. Oh, that's not great. I'll just crouch dead it. And my heart is telling me that this is just an A tier, not an S tier. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to just give this the A tier. But a lot of cool stuff here. Being able to do this single pre through second and hit a nice big ramp and choke is quite nice. And yeah, it's an A tier for me. I don't think there's anything else. You know what? Fine. We'll do Granary just for the just to be thorough. I don't even know if North America plays the pro version, but we'll launch it anyway. Did I give Granary a D tier without even playing it? I think it might be. Oddly enough, a C-tab might be worth going for on Granary to jump to the crate and get to Garage so you can roll out Catwalk, which I'll hopefully be able to demonstrate. But let's... okay, man. Dude, this is... it's weird how this does this. It's like the timing is all off. Let's be a little patient here. And now go for it. Hopefully that's good. Okay, so the first sticky, you just want to land over this wall, ideally without taking fall damage. Crouch debt to this pack, you're still full HP. And then just a single sticky actually gets you here. I did Crater, but... yeah, this is actually less interesting than I even remember. Because I remember like a potential uncrouch sticky in lobby being good. Also the fact that you can spawn in the corner and can't even jump towards the, the wall without bumping it, and you're just forced to land shallower because of an unlucky spawn. Not a fan of that. You could avoid fall damage here, but even with fall damage and a crouch det, which is like maximum damage to be taking, I'm still 170 coming out of this. And yeah, this is very boring. It's okay. It's not like just Gully Wash-esque. And then of course you can do the exact same thing, but roll out to choke and walk towards the pack. So Gully is a Granary is a very high stakes mid for demo because you can show up just weak. And if the other demo shows up faster than you and traps you off that pack, then let's actually see how much health I have if I were just doing a rollout to choke. I kind of tried to avoid fall damage there. You could land on that fence to avoid fall damage. Let's actually do a little bit slower just to show up healthy. Yeah, 115 is not great. And if I cratered there, I'd be like 90 or something. So the health isn't great. And that is me taking the pack. I suppose you don't have to take the pack. Again, sorry to all the Granary heads out there. I know a lot of people do like this map, but not my cup of tea. So yeah, the crouch det there is probably better. But you can show up a lot weaker if you don't take that pack, but of course it is slower. Overall, I think a D tier is still fine. Maybe a high D tier, because it's not like horror, like it's not just unfun to do. It's just very uninteresting, and yeah, I'm just not a personal fan of it, I think skipping that pack. Okay, so yeah, if you skip that pack, you're showing up like 60 to mid, which is definitely faster, but weaker. So maybe there is some consideration, like Metalworks-esque. Do I take that extra time to show up healthier? In this case, by grabbing a pack. In Metalworks' case, by using an extra sticky to show up faster but weaker. So there is some trade-off there, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. Not super keen on the Gran rollout, unfortunately. So yeah, I think that's probably all we have for all the maps. I suppose you could theoretically hit a ramp slide there and avoid fall damage, but yeah, if you did that and showed up 40 HP and their demo was also as fast and had a sticky ready for you here, you just die. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed some more kind of ranking stuff. Just looking at specific circumstances and how they apply to different maps in the game, while also giving kind of a in-depth look at some of the details that competitive players find just by playing a lot of the game, a lot of the time. Very horrible phrasing there. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.